Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video let's do a tech Q&A session, and I've got quite a few questions, and I'm sorry guys, last month April we simply couldn't do it because of various reasons, so we are doing it now. So let's answer and a lot of questions ranging from popular smartphones to 5G news to other stuff, so stay tuned. A variety of questions that I have taken up, and hope the audio is better. I'm trying to use this new microphone, and in fact this is also shot on the new camera setup that I got, the Canon 90D. It's in 4K, hopefully. Yeah. Anyways, the first question I got was from Gautam, and this is an interesting question. I'm not taking the first question smartphone. He says, why are laptop cameras still crappy, whereas the ones in the phones have crossed leaps and bounds? Guys, again, if you know, prior to this COVID situation, how many of us actually used the cameras on our laptop? Now we have to do it because of video conferencing and stuff. So still, I would say that is not the very important thing, but hopefully in future laptops, it'll improve. I'm seeing some new latest laptops. Sometimes now they're improving the front-facing camera. Some are coming with 1080p, but yeah, still it's lacks luster compared to the smartphone, because these days in a smartphone, I think so, one of the biggest specs that users look is regarding the camera, because performance generally, even in the mid-range, has become pretty good. So camera is a big differentiating factor among smartphones. Anyways, let's move to the next one, and this is by Suresh. He's asking for the Q&A, which phone around 20,000 is one of the best value for money 5G phone, he asks. Better to buy a 5G phone now in 2021, isn't it? How are you managing during the COVID lockdown to post videos without any assistant? I'm doing everything on myself. I'm generally used to that. Only last 1.5 years I got a little bit of team, but mostly I'm used to doing things alone, so I'm back to doing things alone. So yes, the frequency has come down a little bit, but it's okay. But anyways, even when I had the team, most of the editing and stuff I used to do, and reviews I only do it. But yeah, coming back to your question, around 20,000 price point 5G phone as you're looking for, you can have a look at the Moto G5G. Why I'm saying this one is that because it has the most 5G bands among any other mid-range smartphone. So whenever 5G comes, that is by next year it will come. 5G trials are going to start very soon. You rest assured that the Moto G5G will get that 5G signal. That's not the case with a lot of Xiaomi 5G smartphones, because most of them support only 2 bands of 5G. You can also look at this, what was that, Realme Narzo 30 Pro. That was for about 17,000. That was actually a pretty good one, and had supported about 4 5G bands. So you can also have a look at that. But yes, right now we are just starting to get some decent 5G smartphones. If it's not your requirement as of now, I would say I'll wait for a couple of months. But if you want the ones that I've mentioned, the Moto G5G, the Realme Narzo 30 Pro, etc. There is also that Samsung's M42 M42 5G coming out. I'll be covering it very soon. That has support for 4 5G bands. If you really want a Samsung mid-range phone with 5G, that's the only option, because in 5G, Samsung does not have any other smartphone in the mid-range as of now. There are rumors that the A52 5G variant will also launch in India, but we know Samsung, if it even launches, it will be priced around 30,000. Anyways, let's move to the next. This is by Rats. He's asking, heard about 5G trials from you. Everyone is running behind the 5G enabled devices. Hopefully they will be available in major cities in Pune. Yes, 5G trials are going to start. In fact, I can't name the telecom vendor, but one of them actually invited me to test out the 5G in this testing phase. So I'll try to do it in the next couple of weeks once this COVID situation settles down. So yes, 5G will come, but again, for consumers, guys, realistically this will take almost a year. So expect 5G around the 2021 mark. I would say middle of 2021 or so. And again, it won't be there in a lot of cities, only in the major top cities. Eventually it will come out. And yes, I expect initially the 5G plans will be expensive, some special top up or something like that. This is by Moshin. He's asking, any specific reason for all OSs are removing the dialer and contact app? Now Google dialer is coming. Most of them don't like it, and call recording is also not there on that. Yes, with Google, dialer and stuff, call recording is not there. And guys, you got to understand, for call recording actually is sort of illegal in many countries. Whenever you're doing a call recording or something, it should be notified to the other party. So yes, we have call recording options even with Google Dialer or something they added, but whenever you press that, it says that the call is being recorded. This is again due to privacy reasons, and I feel this is a right move because secretly recording anybody's call is not legal, and it's in fact it's very illegal in a lot of countries, and these vendors can get sued. That's the reason many of these people are getting annoyed. If you press the call recording, it says that the call is being recorded. This is all because companies are protecting themselves from lawsuits. It's illegal to actually record calls without the other party knowing that you're recording the calls. This is by Jane. He's saying, how can the Indian audience be made to understand the unboxings are not reviews, and most of the unboxings on YouTube are just hyped like crazy? You guys need to comment and make the users understand. I have been telling this a lot of times. Unboxings are not reviews, and reviews take time. That's the reason you simply do not find a lot of reviews here with the Indian tech scene, because it takes a lot of time to actually test a device and put out a review. Unboxing, these guys can do it in half a day. Just open the box, blah 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 blah, just say the specs, badhiya hai, everything, and done. But doing a review, proper review, takes a lot of time and effort. So yes, you guys also need to educate the users who say, in unboxing very good reviews. No guys, that's not a review, it's just unboxing. For example, about last week somebody commented to me, I saw your OnePlus 9R review, and I purchased it, and I simply corrected that guy. I haven't reviewed that device yet. I just had posted the unboxing video. So unboxings are not reviews. This is by Roy. He's asking, can we expect from phones launching its 2024-25 to come with 100% support for all 5G bands? What is carrier aggregation? How is it beneficial? Do you think OnePlus will survive in the Indian market with such insane pricing? OnePlus 9 Pro and downgraded specs of the OnePlus 9R. Regarding the OnePlus 9, guys, yes, many people are feeling that it's overpriced, and they hype the camera like crazy. And reality, the camera was simply not that good. So it will depend upon the users, guys. If users simply don't buy the devices, then they will get into the head what they are doing. But let's see, because many brands don't understand that and eventually go down the drain. So let's see if OnePlus realizes that. And regarding 5G bands, you don't have to wait till 2024 or 25. By next year, I'm expecting most of the phones that will be launching in 2022. And if they say 5G, it will support all the proper 5G bands that are supported in India. Otherwise, they will be killed. So you don't have to wait till 2024 or 25 for that. And carrier aggregation, what happens is that if carrier aggregation is implemented properly, sometimes the download speeds that you get while you're downloading stuff will be slightly faster. But again, it depends from tower to tower. For example, in some areas with Airtel, I get carrier aggregation in Hyderabad, but in some areas I simply do not get. So again, towers also need to support a lot of things. But yeah, generally it increases the download speeds a little bit more. And this is by Mehtani. I'm using the Moto G5S Plus. Should I go for the Moto G60 or should I go for the Moto G5G or any other for usage for 3 years or more? Usage should be lag-free, UI performance, multimedia. How much difference will it make from the 5GS to the M42? Full HD IPS to OLED screen. You are asking too many questions. Let me just answer the first one. As you're using the Moto G5G Plus, it's a pretty old phone, and you are saying that you plan to use this smartphone, whatever new smartphone that you're getting, for the next 3 years. You don't want to upgrade, and looks like that you are a person who does not upgrade his phone a lot. Means many people upgrade it every 1 or 2 years. Looks like you keep your phones for 3 or 4 years. In that case, I would say, as you have told, you'll be using it for such a long time, then the Moto G5G makes a lot more sense for your requirement, if that budget is okay with you, because that one supports most of the 5G bands, and we know that we will get 5G after 1 year. So I feel that is the most future-proof smartphone in among all the ones that you have mentioned. See, the biggest difference, I'm testing this Moto G60. This is also a very good smartphone. The biggest difference I would say between the Moto G60 and the Moto G5G is that 5G part and the camera. The camera is slightly better on this one. This has 108 megapixel, but even the camera on the Moto G5G was not bad, I would say. So it depends. Do you really want that 5G as thing and future proofing? Then I would say the Moto G5G might be a better bet for you. This is by Mandeep Singh's. Your future expectations on folding phone technology. Till when can we get it in expensive folding? I mean, so you are asking when will we get affordable folding smartphone. I don't think so that is going to happen anytime as of now, because folding smartphones are very expensive and still a very niche item. So I don't expect folding smartphones to become affordable or something even by the next 2 years. Folding smartphones will be sort of the premium smartphones for the next 2 odd years. It's still evolving tech, guys. Oh, this is an interesting question. This is by Abhijit Jain. He's asking your favorite non-tech item you have used in a year. Okay, this is an interesting one. And let's talk about some of the interesting stuff that I bought this year, non-smartphone related, and I really like. The first one would be this one. This is the MacBook Air M1. Wow, I'm loving it, man. One of the best laptops that I have used. Insane battery life, insane performance. I can do this 4K video editing on it without any issues. And next gadget that I recently bought, and I'm thoroughly happy with it, is this camera actually. This is the Canon 90D that I'm using. 4K, it shoots very well. Autofocus is good. So these are the two items that I purchased, I would say, this year that I'm using a lot, and still I would say I'm liking it. That really happens with me. And if I were to purchase it again, I would have purchased it. So these are the two items, I would say, niche items, non-smartphone related items. This is by Yash. He says, do you handle your Twitter account yourself completely, or do you have a team for that? No, I handle my Twitter account myself only. And again, my YouTube channel also, I manage myself. I do the editing, this, everything myself only. Again, I'm back to one-man army. And I never gave the Twitter account to anyone. I had a moderator once, but removed it. He was acting too cocky. But yeah. This is by Abhijit. If OnePlus doesn't improve the cameras, do you feel it makes sense to buy a OnePlus device for Oxygen OS alone, as they are hacking the prices like crazy? This is a very interesting question. Yes, the whole thing about OnePlus was that value flagship. That value flagship has gone because the pricing has increased like anything. And now even the cameras, though they are charging that premium amount, the cameras are not that good. The only thing left with the OnePlus, this is the OnePlus 9R, is that Oxygen OS, and I think so that's the only thing that is slightly saving them. But now the other UIs have also improved quite a bit. For example, Samsung's One UI also, if you take into account, has improved drastically. Now in terms of updates also, they have become the best. So others are also now improving, I would say. But again, other brands need to understand. For example, Samsung needs to understand they simply cannot put ads and stuff in their premium smartphone. So yes, there is a lot of competition happening. Let's see how OnePlus does that in the next couple of years. They have to really mend their ways, because we as consumers, enthusiasts, built up the OnePlus brand. But now what the brand is doing is very, very different. Let's see what happens in the next couple of years. This is by Naveen Reddy. You are in the tech industry for almost a decade. What do you observe change in the tech life, and what needs to change from the current scenario? Oh, this is a very broad question. I would say when I started the tech scene, it was very simple and I liked it. Right now, it's not that great. I would say many brands try to manipulate these reviewers and stuff by not sending them review units or trying to influence them. Most of the brands in the PR want only positive, acha hai, badhiya kind of videos. And people who do that are getting promoted, whatever is happening. So in that area, I do not like it. It's becoming very biased. People who put out great reviews, take time to test their products, don't get highlighted or get banned and stuff like that. So that kind of stuff is happening a lot. I don't like the way it is happening as of now. And I also, in terms of smartphone, if we talk specifically, I just don't like the trend of brands launching so many variants of smartphones. It'll be almost the same smartphone with just one camera change or just one spec change, and they're calling it a new model. So it is getting very, very confusing, not only for us as reviewers. Why the hell did you even launch that product? And even consumers are getting confused. And what happens is that when a brand has, let's say, almost the same model but have 5 or 6 variants of that, what will happen to the update situation? Do you understand that? So I feel stupidity has happening a lot. They should just simplify it, and I think so now users are also realizing that, and that's actually a good thing. But yeah, a lot of stupidity is happening in the industry. This is by Jagdish. Your thoughts on the Mi QLED 75-inch TV? Is it worth the price, or should we go for the LG OLED 65 or 75-inch, which is way more costly? Jagdish, it's a very unfair competition what you have to. The Mi QLED 75-inch TV is like a moped, and the this LG OLED 65 or 75 is like a sports bike. How can you even compare? I actually personally have an old LG OLED TV that's almost a 3-year-old 55-inch television, and I have to say the picture quality on that one is bonkers. So simply you just cannot compare the image quality, picture quality from this Mi QLED to you're comparing a very average product to one of the best products. If you have that kind of a budget, go with the LG OLED. In fact, personally, if I'm going to buy a new TV, big TV, I might invest in a new LG OLED, the bigger size. If my budget 75, it's not very, very expensive, the OLED ones. This is by Kaushik. He's saying, I'm a Redmi Note 10 Pro Max user. In my device, the display becomes unresponsive for several occasions. I have also noticed flickering screen issue with dark mode. Did you face such issues? I think Xiaomi should ensure its product meets the highest quality standard. I actually didn't buy the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max, but I did purchase the regular Redmi Note 10 and the Redmi Note 10 Pro. And in those devices, I did not have these issues what you have mentioned. But some of the other users have actually mentioned to me about this issue. So I feel there is a quality control issue with these Redmi Note 10 devices. In fact, the only major issue that I had with the Redmi Note 10 Pro was the proximity sensor issue, and I mentioned about that in my review. But certainly, yes, I can understand there is some quality control issues with these Redmi Note 10 series smartphones. This is by Mr. Kumar, can you tell me the difference between the Snapdragon 865 and 860? I'm very much confused about the clock speeds. Why? Because I searched on Google, the 865 is 2.84 gigahertz and the 860 is 2.96 gigahertz. Okay, let's not just look at the clock speed, you're confusing things. Okay, first let's talk about the Snapdragon 860. What is Snapdragon 860? This is nothing but Snapdragon 855 Plus. It's just a variation of that, and this is almost a two generation old chip, whereas the Snapdragon 865 is a newer chip. It was launched last year, so definitely a far superior chip, and it also has the integrated 5G modems. So between the two, I would definitely go with the Snapdragon 865. It's a far better chip, and it's a newer chip with integrated 5G if the OEM supports those 5G bands. Yeah. This is by Dushyant. He's asking, he says, I use the Realme Watch 3 to check the SpO2 levels. Can I rely on it? No. Simply do not rely on smart watches or smart bands for your SpO2. Yes, they give you a broad range, but they are simply not as accurate as those medical devices that you're getting, like oximeter and stuff. Those are way more accurate. If you have COVID or something, just don't rely on that. Because what I've noticed is that not only this Realme, but even some expensive smartwatches that had the SpO2, for example, one of the Samsung smartwatches that was costing about 32,000 has that SpO2. And if I take the readings on that also, it's so inconsistent. Sometimes it shows me like 84. Next time after 5 minutes I check, it says me 96 or something. So it's inconsistent. So you cannot rely on that for medical reasons. Don't play with your life with that, guys. It just gives you an approximate value, but not accurate as an oximeter. This is by Shadab. He's asking, what do you have to say about the recent Moto G60 phone? Do you think Motorola, Lenovo are back with the best to match the likes of Moto G3 and G4 Plus, which are bang for the buck? Yes, now I think so. Motorola is getting back into the game, not only with just this phone. In fact, past 6 months, they have been releasing some good mid-range smartphones. And certainly, I would say this is the Moto G60 is turning out to be a great phone. I'm still testing it, so just stay tuned to the review for this. But now, finally, I would say in the mid-range smartphone game, we have a good smartphone that is close to stock Android that I can finally recommend. This is by Ayush. He's asking, do you think since Carl Pai left OnePlus, it's becoming more like a profit-focused brand rather than a consumer-focused brand? Now, OnePlus is no longer the best value for money option with the OnePlus 9 series. Competition is really growing in that price range from other brands. Yes, you could say this started happening not just last year, but past 2 years onwards. In fact, I made a video about 2 years ago in 2019 about OnePlus. I'll leave the link of that one. And at that time, I was not banned by OnePlus. I made, because I started seeing cracks in OnePlus, and I made a video about in 2019 regarding that. And I think so that solidified in 2020 when Carl Pai left OnePlus. You guys need to know that Carl Pai was one of the main founders of the OnePlus. When the founder actually just leaves the company, the whole ethos of the company has changed. There should be a very valid reason why does a founder leave a company. So the whole focus and the ethos of the company has changed. Now we see that with the new OnePlus 9 products, they're hyping it like crazy and calling that Hasselblad cameras and stuff. The pricing has increased, but the real performance hasn't, has the heating problem and stuff. So yes, it's not the OnePlus that we knew. I would say this is entirely a new OnePlus, and let's see how it goes on. Because lately I've seen that even in terms of update situation, many users have started complaining. For example, OnePlus 7 users have complained. In fact, my nephew uses the OnePlus 7 Pro. Just last week he called me up and said that his phone used to work perfectly fine. With the last update, he said after the update, the phone has become so sluggish and everything has become so unresponsive. He felt like that update was launched to just destroy the phone. So I'm hearing stuff like this. So yes, let's see how OnePlus moves on in the future. But definitely it's not the old OnePlus that we knew. This is by Juice World. This is an interesting question. Let's take that. As Samsung implemented variable aperture in their devices, so is variable focal length with a single lens possible? Just a thought. Please do pick up my question. Okay. He's asking, he's mentioning about variable, what do you say, focal length on a camera. In fact, Samsung introduced this in one of their flagship smartphones about 2 years ago. Even Oppo did it. So what happens is that with the cameras, generally in smartphones you have multiple cameras. So for example, you say one is the regular one, then second is a telephoto or something. Samsung implemented this one, and yes, this can be easily done. For example, if you own any DSLR, most of the DSLR with the kit lens will have actually a zoom lens. It's basically a zoom lens. So it changes the, what do you say, focal length, but again the aperture also changes because of that. Samsung did implement this about 2 years ago, but now they gave up. I think so it becomes very complicated, and you have got to have a lot of moving parts internally when you do that switching. So maybe it was not practical, but yeah, they did play with this. So yes, technically it is possible, but we are not seeing that much in new smartphones. Now they're concentrating on that periscope zoom lens and stuff like that. So guys, these were the this was the tech Q&A questions, and these were some of the interesting questions that I saw. Hope this was useful. We'll try to do this tech Q&A once more this month, hopefully by the end of this month. And guys, if you're still not subscribed to this YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.